Please remember to like, subscribe, and never forget to ring that bell.
Inevitable. Oh, yeah.
What are you doing, Chris?
Fucked up. This is what happens when you don't do your show too often, you know what I mean?
Yep. You keep jumping from. Ooh, don't hit me. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
I'll only be an hour. Don't worry.
I won't do it again. Oh, people. Well, at least nobody's not watching.
Yeah, and he could just go in and cut out the replay, you know?
Yeah.
Wow, didn't even get a full intro, nothing. We're just here.
Wow, I tell you, boy, this is some ghetto stuff here, boy.
Amateurish, kind of, you know what I mean?
What now? I can hear any of you guys.
Oh, you couldn't hear us?
Well, I can hear you talking over to the intro, but I can't hear anything right now because
there wasn't no intro.
I heard it.
You heard it start, and that's it.
And then it finished, yeah.
You're like,
And then it, whoop.
dun, dun, dun.
Oh, here we go. Take two.
Take two. Rule of 3, take 50. Rule of 3, take 51. I agree with you, Shifty. He needs to toss it to the curb.
Needs to get himself a Mac like me, you know?
Something. Live, we are live, but Chris Knight is not here.
You gotta let the people that are watching see us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, okay, let me just take off the banner and let these guys do what they're doing, but I guess not.
This is Kaka.
Facts. Preach.
Kaka. Chris Knight. Bum. God, I hope this is an indication of how the Kansas City Chiefs season will be all messed up and jacked up.
Facts.
So somebody else can win. Did he say he was tired of them? Did he say like when Tom Brady was going those multiple times? What was the word he used? It was something he used. Parody? Was it something like that? Was something? Didn't he say something like that? He was tired of seeing the same team go there year after year after year.
Unless it's his team, then it's fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine then. And the last night stream, I didn't think he tried to do a real show on the laptop. He was lagging bad on the weekly wrap up. I don't know. He's not even talking to us, Shifty, so we can't even hear him. So
You know what I mean? We'll probably get a message in a bit. Guys, I'm having technical difficulties. We're going to have to do the show another time. But we all know what the technical difficulties are.
WIFE upside that head.
I told you no fucking streaming tonight.
Told you. I don't know no Danny and Nzo. I do know bozo. That's what you are. Get in this bedroom and fix dinner. Get in this kitchen.
Oh,
Put the apron on now.
oh, we have visuals, guys.
Ding, ding, ding. What's up, Poe?
What up, Paul? What up, Shifty? How you guys doing?
Sure, I guess you got to talk about something. What did y'all think of Ahsoka? Tomorrow night we'll be here. Well, oh, there he is.
Yep.
Prodigal son has returned. Prodigal son has returned. Tomorrow we'll be doing a show on Lonzo's channel at 9.
Yep. The watch party for Ahsoka episode 3.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry about that, because it just went stupid all around and then kicked me off and everything, and I have no fucking clue what's going on right now. So fuck it.
Yeah,
we can just stop it right now. How about that?
Yeah, we ain't the one getting beat up.
That's your choice, brother. Up to you.
Domestic violence is a real thing.
Whatever. Fucking A. Goodbye, guys. We'll talk to you later. You know what? Stop that.
We just messing with you, bro. Good Lord.
No, but there's no place for that here right now.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. All right, guys. Sorry for all the fucking up problems and shit like that, but let's just go forward. Let's talk to Danny and Nzo here. Tell them about yourselves, guys. Danny, you can go first. Tell them about the new stuff you got going on your channel.
I'm Danny. You can find me Monday through Friday on the Road to Wisdom, where I try to do a word of the day, a quote of the day, and also a scripture of the day to try to encourage people and to show my point of view on certain words and certain perspectives on life. Also, you can find me here Monday nights whenever we're able to. Also, a show on Wednesday night sometime, the Hangout Guys Car Show on Wednesdays as well. And we're doing now the Ahsoka Roundtable on Sunday nights, 8 o'clock. And, of course, 8 o'clock at 10 p.m. on Sundays. You can find me on Storms Live.
All right.
too. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Nzo. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I too am Biggaford Entertainment. Like Donnie said, Monday nights we're here on Chaos Central. Tomorrow night we'll be doing the Ahsoka episode 3 watch party. Wednesday will be the OOC, and back on Sunday for another episode of the Roundtable.
And it's tomorrow night. You said that you do the watch party, right?
Yes, sir.
What time does the show? What time does the show start?
9 p.m. Eastern time.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to jump on this week. I wasn't able
Yeah,
to
you're
last
welcome
week.
to.
All right, let's see here. I'm Chris Knight, Real Review 3000, Chaos Central, on Star YT, all that good stuff. Sorry, guys, we're like 20 minutes in, 10 minutes, but still. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's see if it's going to screw up trying to share this. Do you guys see that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got it.
Okay. Yay. About damn time. All right. I don't know which one of you guys picked last time first, so you guys can tell me who wants to go first.
Yeah, it don't matter.
I'll go.
Okay. 2 or 3.
Seeing as that, like I said earlier or before on another stream, that I always stay winning, I'm gonna pick number 1 because I am number 1.
God, that's a load of it.
All right. Here you go. I call this one Rebelling Against Ahsoka. All right. The Ahsoka Disney Plus series is off and running. It seems, as with most Disney productions, to be a mixed bag of reviews. Rotten Tomatoes has the show at 89%. That's the like reviewers and stuff, and audience score of 78%. This isn't quite as strong as their score for Rebels, but it is early on in the show. What are your expectations for Ahsoka? Do you think they'll have a season 2? And what do you think of the pushback against the show?
All right, let's do it.
All right, let me cut this out, put it into the chat. Oh. Okay, let's see here. We will hide this for right now. And I got the timer. 3 minutes is on it. Your time starts now.
Yes, sir. All right. So, first off, let me say that I'm not hating the Rotten Tomato scores. I think it's decent, right? Considering some of the Rotten Tomato scores for a lot of these shows and series that have been coming out. Like, I think Secret Wars, the final episode was like the lowest rated out of all the Marvel shows. So 78 audience score is pretty good for me. Um, I'm really enjoying the show. I hope they don't drop the I hope they don't drop the ball on it, and keep it going good. Do I think there'll be a season two? I don't know. I think it would more go into maybe a live action Rebel series, right? I think that the Ahsoka series is going to move into, I guess, the movie Heir to the Empire. But I think you could also take this show and actually do a live action Rebels, which I think would be pretty cool. Um, And the pushback towards the show, well, I'm just gonna say this. I know there are people out there who fucking like Andor, and if you like Andor, that's fine, 100%. But you cannot tell me that Ahsoka is boring if you like Andor. I don't fathom that because I watched 3 episodes of Andor and I was done. And it's the only fucking Star Wars show out of anything that I just can't even finish. Like I don't care to, I don't care to go back and see what happened to Cassian or any of these characters. For one, I didn't like them in Rogue One. I thought they were all like bland characters and just boring. So when Andor came out, I was like, I don't care. You know what I mean? But I think Ahsoka is 10 times better than Andor, and well, I'll say 10 times better than Boba Fett, and a million times better than Andor. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I think that people just want to hate on Star Wars, and even when they give them something that's decent, because it's not perfect yet, but it's decent. But even when they get something that's decent, they still want to complain about it. And we already know that there are a few YouTube channels who built their shit off of hating Star Wars. So backstage, they may be saying they love it, but when it comes to talking on stream and everything, oh no, it's garbage, and there's another woke female show, and blah 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 blah. And I think I said this on the roundtable. I don't care. I don't care if it's a female-led show as long as it's good. And so far, it has been good. So I'm cool with all of that.
All right. That's time. Danny, 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Um, I agree with a lot of the points that Nzo said. I think it's a lot of negativity in low school because a lot of people are just anti Star Wars, not anti Star Wars, and they got this Disney Star Wars all embedded in their brain housing group, and they just oh oh it's gonna suck, it's gonna suck, it's gonna suck. You don't even give it a chance. I watched the first 2 episodes of Andor. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's trash, but I like a little bit more action, and I get and definitely Ahsoka has more action to me than Andor. As far as this HBO writing, like someone in the chat said, I don't know. I don't really care about that, but it's whether or not you gravitate towards something or not. I gravitate more towards Jedi, Sith, lightsabers than storytelling. Because Star Wars is meant for that. It is some storytelling, but most of it is some kind of fighting, some kind of lightsaber fighting, some kind of Battlestar fighting, some kind of action, some kind of force use, something that's going to be like, wow. Just didn't get that in Andor, and if you like it, that's your little red wagon. I just don't. I definitely think the audience score is a little tainted because there's so many people out here saying negative stuff, and if you don't have the same equal amount of energy on a positive, then sometimes the negative is going to overwhelm the positive, and vice versa. So it's going to be up to the Star Wars fans whether or not we see a season two. I definitely think that we saw season 3 of Mandalorian, and I think this is up to par with Mandalorian. They're talking about a season 2 of Boba Fett, and a lot of people didn't like Boba Fett. If we get a Boba Fett season 2, I definitely think we should get a Ahsoka season 2. Based on what I've seen so far, I like it. I'm not in love with it, but I like it. Some parts are a little slow, but I guess that's what the world building part. They're trying to get a lot of character development going. There's some one or two aspects of it I don't like. The music a little off, a little wonky to me. I don't like the fact that Sabine is being trained as a Jedi and she's not force sensitive. I'm just that's just like I said a nitpick. But far as the Rotten Tomato score, I think that's very subjective. If it's going to help your argument, then yeah, you look at it. If if it's going to hurt your audience, then you don't pay any attention. So it's here nor there for me because there's been a lot of things that Rotten Tomatoes say is fantastic and has a very high score, and I think is no, I'm not going to waste money to go see that again. There's something that's been very low, and I'm like, wow, I would go see that again. So Rotten Tomatoes is just I guess it's a barometer for some people, but at the end of the day, you got to go and feel the wind for yourself, so to speak, and see whether or not the wind is too cold or wind is too warm, whatever is to your liking.
Mhm.
And that's when you sit there and say, well, I did like it or I didn't like it. But as
All
far
right.
as the Rotten Tomato score, that doesn't move my needle one way or the other.
All right. So my thoughts on it are I think I agree with you on the Rotten Tomatoes thing. It's always a mixed bag. But if I remember right, it was like 98 and 89 were the numbers for Rebels. It's one of the highest rated Disney shows, actually. And I think this will head that direction. I think once people, I think the biggest thing that's going to hurt Ahsoka is until they show Thrawn and Ezra, they're gonna, it's gonna be a mixed bag. If Ezra and Thrawn show up in this group of episodes, I think that number is going to go way up. I really do. But the other things about it, uh, the pushback is just, I'm not even sure if these people really watch it. The first thing I noticed is it felt like it came out of Rebels. It felt like a natural progression from Rebels, which I don't know how you can have a problem with this series if you liked Rebels, which maybe they didn't, but I just don't understand the pushback. And I think Anza said, with it being a female led group, it doesn't mean it's going to be bad. And I know that it may come across as an agenda because of things Kathleen Kennedy said before, but if they do add Thrawn and Ezra in this, and then you take what's his name, the bad Jedi, he's the almost the leader of that whole group. Yes, the Night Sisters kind of leading them, but that's been part of Star Wars lore. So I don't really know where the pushback, why they're like that, what their problem is. Season 2, though, I certainly think that if they don't have a lot of episodes with Ezra or Thrawn, they're going to have to do a season 2. But I kind of like the idea of what Anza said and switch it from an Ahsoka series to a Rebels or something, Rebels Reborn, something like that. I don't know, but some sort of a spin-off of Rebels and this would be really nice, I think. So let's talk. Let's get this started back up for 3 minutes.
I 100% agree with you, Danny. A lot of people like to use the Rotten Tomatoes when it benefits their argument, but when it doesn't benefit their argument, it's like, oh, well, Rotten Tomatoes is this and Rotten Tomatoes is
Uh-huh.
that. And I'm like, really? Like, come on now.
I use that
Depending on the subject, I do it.
They do what?
I said, depending on the movie, I'll do it.
Well,
If
yeah,
it's
that's the
something I
thing.
really like and
I'm
it's like
not.
a 80 or 90, see, I told you, Rotten Tomatoes even said
Yeah,
if it's something like
I
how they
think we
did
all do.
Black Adam, I'm like, man, come
yeah.
on
I
now,
don't
really?
necessarily agree with Rotten Tomatoes. I was just interested to see what it did performing so far against Rebels, and
Hmm.
it's not as good, but it's close.
I think a lot of people um they hate on Ahsoka. For some reason,
Hmm.
they don't like Ahsoka, and then there's some people that throw a little bit of shade towards Dave Filoni. But I didn't like Ahsoka at first. When she first came out, I thought she was really annoying. But then Dave Filoni, that's what he does. He puts these female characters in here, and they start off really annoying and get on people's nerves. But as the show progresses, you can they win you over. The same thing with what's the little girl on the clones with God,
Oh,
little girl, and she was a
starts with an
clone.
O.
The Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Omega. Omega.
Omega. There you go.
Omega
Omega.
was
Yeah.
very irritating. I think all of us like, she gets on our nerves in the first season. But as the seasons progress, the shows progress, she started winning us over. So I think that's what Dave. I don't know if that's is intentional, him doing that, but that seems to be his formula for introducing female characters into Star Wars universe.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I know a lot of people keep going to the, oh, this is Kathleen Kennedy. This is Kathleen Kennedy. Well, hold on here. Dave Filoni was a big part of Clone Wars and Rebels, and so was George Lucas. And one of the main characters was Ahsoka. Ahsoka, as far as I understood, was a lot of George Lucas's idea. Let's give Anakin an apprentice during the show. It added another fold into the show and stuff. So all this stuff saying, oh, this is obviously Disney's new agenda. No, they've done this for a long time before Disney even owned this property.
Yeah, but the Clone Wars, she was a reoccurring and starring character, but she wasn't. She was always behind Anakin and Obi-Wan. They were the leads in the Clone Wars. In Rebels, it was Kanan at first, and then he kind of shared the spotlight with Sabine and Hera, and then um, Ahsoka, she had some shine there, but I think to me, Clone Wars is really about Anakin's transition, Anakin and Obi-Wan,
Hmm.
the adventures of Anakin and Obi-Wan. So, but what makes think people? I think what makes people say that is because Kathleen Kennedy came out and said the Force is female, and now it seems
Yes.
like it's progressing from the male lead character more so to the female lead character. And like Anzo said, as long as it's good story and it's not forced and there's a strong female character, I don't have a problem with it. This is not woke because if you watch Rebels, Rebels star these same characters that we're seeing now. There's no one that they interjected in like in Obi-Wan with Reva or Reva or whatever her name is. Somebody we don't know nothing about. And like Ray, nobody knew nothing about Ray. There's somebody that they interjected in there. That was agenda based, I believe. But in this, I don't see the wokeness or the agenda.
Hmm.
I
No, I
agree.
don't. Yeah. So okay, let's bring up the. Let's bring this up again. Hopefully, it'll come back. There we go. Okay. So two or three, Danny.
3.
Number three. All right. The price is right. This is closest to $1 without going over. That's the joke going around that he got as close as he could to 100 without going over. Anyways, the Price is Right host and legend Bob Barker died Saturday, August 26th. Among a myriad of movies and TV credits, he hosted the game show Price is Right for 35 years. This places him third on the longest tenured game show host, only behind Pat Sajak, who's done his show for 40 years. Now it's Trebek, who did 37 and would have done more had he not died. Now, did you ever watch The Price is Right? And if so, what are your memories of Bob Barker in movies and all that? Let's just talk some Bob Barker really quick here. Um, I'll put this into the chat. And Danny, since Anzo went first last time, we will let you go first this time. Your
Uh,
time starts now.
I remember episode on The Price is Right. I think that a Samoan was on there, and they won either a car or some big money something. They pretty much picked Bob Barker up and like bear hugged him, and he laughed it off and paid off. But I don't know for future Samoans, whatever, and he would like he wouldn't let him hug him and stuff and pick him up like that. That was always stuck out in my mind. Also, what else stuck out in my mind for us him in the movies was Happy Gilmore when he was playing tennis with Happy Gilmore. I mean, golf with Happy Gilmore, and Happy started messing up, and golf was like, and Bob was like, "Oh, you suck," and all this kind of stuff. And then they got into a fist fight. That was really funny to me. That's what I remember about Bob Barker, and always saying at the end, "Please protect the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered." That was like synonymous with
Mm-hmm.
Bob Barker. I don't know why, but I thought he had already passed. But I was pleasantly surprised he was still living and sad at the same time that he died. He's synonymous with Americana TV. I mean, Price is Right still going now with Drew Carey. It's not as good as with Bob Barker. Bob Barker, to me, had a more comedic timing for as interaction with the guests and the people on there. Sometimes it seems a little forced to me when Drew Carey does it. It just doesn't flow as smooth to me. But he would definitely be missed. I remember the Bob Barker beauties, whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and all that kind of stuff. So I think I just saw an episode, interview today. I think he hired one of the first black models on there, and she was talking about how nice he was to her, and that they said he was really nice. That he actually would give you the shirt off his back, and then she produced a shirt that he gave her because she commented on how nice it looked on him. It was some kind of blue and yellow striped shirt. Me and my wife was watching it. I think like on Entertainment Tonight, whatever, earlier tonight. And he was saying that he was really a really cool and genuine guy. Had a sense of humor into the last few days that he died. So he would definitely be missed. He was, like I said, part of Americana TV. When you think of The Price is Right, you think of Bob Barker. It just rolls off the tongue like that. So I was definitely sad that he passed, but he lived a long, fruitful life. So
Yes, indeed. All
kudos to
right,
him.
great. Let me open this up and all right, on to 3 minutes or whatever you want to take. Time starts
Yep.
now.
Well, one thing I want to say is that first off, rest in peace to Bob Barker. He was The Price is Right. No matter what anybody wants to say, he was that show. Drew Carey is just not as good. I agree with you 100%, Danny. Um, the thing I remember the most from him is, have your cat spayed or neutered or get him. That's what he said. And it's funny because I remember when he retired and Drew Carey took over, he pretty much was going to ask Drew Carey to make sure that he still said that, but Drew Carey had already had planned, like, do you mind if
Mm-hmm.
I say that? You know what I mean? So that's kind of a great way to honor Bob Barker and what he used to do on the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad that he died, but at the same time, he lived 99 years. So he lived a good life. You know what I mean? He lived a long, good life. I don't know, if he was like sick towards the end or maybe was struggling, but I hope that I can live 99 years, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? And
Still in your
be
right
able,
mind.
yeah, exactly, 100%. I don't want to be like a vegetable or have to depend on my son to get around or do anything. So, you know, at the end of the day, he lived a good life. I'm happy that, he did what he had to do on the show. And at the end of the day, good for him.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Um, so I actually have a story. I met Bob Barker once. My aunt and uncle who live in Barstow, California, actually were part of the call in, or at that time it was probably like a postcard. You send it in, and you won whatever your person they attached you to won. And the person that they were attached to made it all the way through and won the final showcase. So we all went to pick up the stuff, and he came out and like met us all, and it was. I mean, I was pretty young, but it was cool. And he was always a genuinely good person. I remember the way he acted towards it. He was very nice, very, hey, how you doing? Congratulations, we're so happy you got this, and that type of stuff. And everything else you hear about him, him and Adam Sandler had a great relationship after Happy Gilmore, and they would
Mm-hmm.
post funny things every once in a while. Like during the pandemic, they did it. He would go visit him, and it was just kind of cool. It was really a cool thing. He was a good guy, and going back to the whole Drew Carey, who's better. I agree with you guys. Bob Barker, it will always be synonymous with The Price is Right. But one of the coolest things he did, and the story that Drew Carey says is, I was getting a lot of flack for being the new host, and people didn't like me that much. And I went to him and I says, "What do I do? How do I do what you did?" And Bob Barker looked at him and says, "Don't. Make it your show. It is your
Mm-hmm.
show now, not mine. Do what you do." And honestly, I don't, it's not as good, but I don't mind it. He's got his own way of doing things. And yeah, that whole, have your pet spayed or neutered. Everybody knows that. And that was him. And so, these things are things that will live in Americana and in the world that knew that type of television. And it's just really amazing and cool. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, I don't know. Do you want to talk 3 more minutes about this together? Or do you want to go on to the next topic? That's up to you guys.
Next topic.
Okay, very good. All right. I didn't necessarily think it was going to need more time. All right. Last topic, if it wants to. There we go. All right. Here we go. After the recent talks between the studios and writers actors union, the AMPTP, which is like the producers association, and the major Hollywood studios say they do not plan to return to the negotiation table until late October 2023 at the earliest. This could spell disaster for properties like Yellowstone and the Dead series, meaning the Walking Dead series, since they have several things that I think we're still planning on being done. Um, and not to mention myriad and tons of other popular network and cable shows. Now, what are your thoughts on the chances that shows will survive? So, like NCIS, what is it? I can't think of the medical one that's been around for 5,000 years, but just shows like that have had a good following and been on for a long period of time. What do you think that the chances are that those shows will survive? What do you think the holdup is between the two? Like, not just the obvious money, but what else do you think it could be? And what do you think the fix is for this, if you had anything to do with it?
I'll
So,
go.
okay, give me just a second this in, and we will start. 3 minutes on the clock, and your time starts now.
I think some of the younger shows that don't have a strong following may suffer from it, but shows like what Dayline said, Grey's Anatomy, that ain't going nowhere. Yellowstone, I can tell you right now, ain't going nowhere because I know men, women, different color races, they love some Yellowstone. Kevin Costner has a big following. The guy that plays Rip has a big following. I know several women that think they are Beth. They have a big following. My wife wears the Rip T-shirts around the house. So Yellowstone ain't going nowhere. They'll
Mm-hmm.
they'll they'll hold out just like Dallas. My wife has been watching the old shows of Dallas now, and Dallas been going since the '80s. She's watching the repeats now, and Jr. Has still has staying power. He is still just as entertaining as he now today as he was back then. Now you can see that some of the acting was kind of wonky, but some of these shows that stay on and they are household names and staples in the TV watching community, they'll wait for them. They'll be like chomping at the bit, and I guarantee you, these writers, they're gonna start getting hungry. The money is gonna start running out. They're gonna start dipping into their savings, and somebody's gonna cross that line. All they're gonna take is one or two. I feel their pain and I understand their dilemma, but at some point you got to reach a happy medium. And if they don't, the longer they stay out, the more whoever's working on this AI is going to have more time to develop it. And once they get it at 80%, whatever, and they can churn out something, then they're gonna be out of the mix at all. So before you lose any of your leverage, in my opinion, based on what I've heard, I would try to get something on the table. Maybe it's not what I want, but you gotta find a happy medium. You gotta find that number, whatever it is, that you can survive and make a little bit of cashola. May not be everything, but something is better than nothing. You got to get your foot back in the proverbial door. Once you get your foot in the door, then you're able to get your whole body in there. Then you can start maneuvering and kind of working from the inside. But you can't do nothing. You can't cure nothing from the outside looking in. So they're gonna have to go back to the table. I don't know if October or November or December, whatever month, whatever magic month it is, but at some point they're gonna have to go back down there because their money is gonna start running slow. And once that money start running low and that lifestyle they're accustomed to starts to dwindle, and because inflation ain't going nowhere. Inflation, only where inflation going is up. I bought three things yesterday, and it was like almost $30. It was milk, bread, and ketchup. And when I rung it up, I was like, "What in the world? $27? Really?" So I'm just saying, inflation ain't going nowhere. So, and then they're out there in California where inflation probably is 3 times more than it is here, probably 4 times more than it is in Canada, and probably 5 times more than it is in Kansas. So, I feel quite strongly that whenever that starts knocking on the door and that savings account start looking low, then they'll come back to the table.
Quite possible. All right. 3 minutes on, so your time starts now.
Okay, so I think that a lot of the shows will probably survive because people are going to want to see more of them, right? They're going to want more of these shows, and we're missing shows. Like for me, for example, I'm a big fan of From season 2 just came off, and now I gotta wait for the writer's strike and whatever before I can actually get to see season 3, right? So for me, I'm just like, okay, it's I don't know. I wish that they would fix it and get this stuff taken care of, but at the end of the day, I think the reason why we're having this issue is because a lot of these actors feel like they should be getting paid because they're or royalties because of the streaming services, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. I just me, I really it is what it is. I don't care too much about it. So I don't know. That's it. I don't really
Okay.
got much on.
Okay. I think that I think who said it here? Somebody said that it's pride. I think sometimes that's what it is, and you see this in sports a lot with people. It seems like the people they send to talk and work this stuff out are the most stubborn of them all because they have the least to lose in it. Like if they're sending actors in, I don't know who actually is representing the actors union and the writers union, but if they're actors, typically they send the ones that make the most money in, and so those people can hold out longer. But I mean, I think it goes like this. Even the actors we see every day on TV, the ones we really know, that's probably only like 10% of who this is really affecting. There are people who are already going broke because they do. Well, think of Elihu. We know Elihu. Elihu does. Um, he does extra work and stuff like that. But from what I understand, he is affected by this. So these types of people don't have the ability to hold out, but they're held hostage by the people who are doing the negotiations. Much like in sports, when you have an athlete who sends their agent in, and their agent is only thinking about, I get a good percentage of whatever I get him, so I want to get this person the most I can possibly get him. And lots of times the player isn't even involved. And then near the end of it, they find out, wait, I'm okay with taking this much money. I don't need that much money. And so I'm wondering how much of it is that. The people who are at the negotiating table are thinking, well, I'm okay right now, but they're not thinking about all those other people down there. I don't think. I think that's the biggest problem. It's who you might have being sent in there to discuss it. Now, on the movie side of it, it's a write off for them. They're losing money. They're going to write it off. They're going to say, oh, well, whatever. Movie people, they're not going to worry about that. And then the whole streaming part of it, that's probably another thing. I'm not sure why, but that's what I see in it. So, all right, let's do 3 minutes together.
I think basically that it's going to go up. The ticket price is going to go up, so they can get a bigger piece of the pie. Whenever they call it to DVD, that's going to be more expensive now, and probably whenever they go to the movie to provide their services, instead of, let's say, writing a script, let's just say $10,000. Now the script's going to be $30,000. And instead of for an actor going there and doing maybe $10 million, now it's going to be maybe $15 or $20 million. So everything's going to go up. And then that's in turn going to roll down, and then we're going to have to pay more at the theater. And then the theater's going to charge us more concession. Everything's going to go up. So we're going to see a dramatic, if they don't sell something, we're going to see a dramatic jump in everything for the theater experience. And then it's going to go way at a dodo, because I'm already, if a family of 5, which I have, I'm busting $100 all in the head. Mm-hmm. I'm not busting $200 in the head for a theater experience. It ain't happening.
Well, I don't disagree with that. I mean, it's ridiculous that they're holding out for something, and like you said, whatever happens, the movie studios are just going to pass it down to us.
Yeah,
we're gonna feel it. Yeah. Now y'all said how much? Y'all said IMAX is $25.
Yep.
Yeah, it's around 25.
It'd be double that if this keep going. Now you gonna pay $50 to go see Star Wars? I'm not.
Well,
for real.
That's why I have that AMC thing, because I don't want to do that.
I can have AMC, TBS, RSQ, TUV. It don't matter. I'm not paying $50.
Well, no, I pay a monthly fee of like.
Well, that's gonna go up.
$12. Yeah, but if it's right now, it's like $12 or something like that. If it goes up to 20, okay, fine. Because I like to go
50 or 60.
And if it goes up to that, then we're going to talk about possibly changing. It depends on how many tickets they give me and how many I can go see. Because I mean, that doesn't make sense.
It's going to be that same argument you gave me about TV. I mean, the home experience versus the theater experience.
Yeah.
And if they put all these packets together and all these bundles together, it's going to be something crazy. That same thing is going to roll over and trickle over into your side of the fence too.
No, I think that it's really interesting in the thought process of with streaming and all that. Something's got to give in this, because with all the different like streaming packages, think about it this way: if you have HBO Max or Max, whatever you call it now has a lot of the Discovery stuff on it. Then you got Paramount, you got NBC, you got Paramount has CBS stuff on it, and the list goes on and on. Sling, Tubi, Pluto. There's a billion services out there.
I don't want to name my source, but I got a system now, and I'm telling you, I only pay $113 a year. And I got everything you can think of. If it comes, in fact, the Transformers came out, let's say, on a Thursday. Probably 2 Thursdays after that, it was already on this system. Now I don't know whether it was released that time, but and then I just unsubscribed to my Disney because I didn't need it, because maybe Ahsoka came on a day later, but I could wait a day later to watch Ahsoka if I wanted to. And then now, since Nzo is providing this, I'm watching it the same day. But I'm paying, Disney went up to where I'm at to $12.50. I'm like, why am I paying this $12.50 when I can go around this thing right here and just stroll down and look? And now NFL ticket thing in the past, because it will pull every game in every city. I just got to go through and find the city where the game's playing at and hit it. So.
Cool.
No, I'm not, because my cable bill was almost at $200 a month. And I would hand them like 100-something channels. So no.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, and something's got to give at some point.
Streaming prices may end up going up too as well, right? So it's like, if I can watch some of these stuff for free, then I'm gonna do that. Because I'm not gonna spend $30 for Disney Plus, and I'm only using it to watch maybe Ahsoka
one or 2 shows. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just don't make no sense to do that.
They're going to have to give
So
some kind of incentive, kind of like how HBO Max did that time. You watch all of the movies that in theaters for free that first year.
Mhm.
Now that
Mhm.
was worth that, and I did
mhm,
Yeah.
that. But they should have keep doing that. But now
yeah.
I'm paying the $20 for HBO Max, and if I want to watch the movie, I got to go pay another $10. Then if I take my wife and grandsons, another $40, $50. No, it's not worth it.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all the questions. We got about 14 minutes left here. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything you've seen recently? I mean, with the writer's strike, literally, there's nothing really going on, and we're just watching like reruns of every damn thing. Like they're forcing reruns of every showdown. Everybody's throwing on everything.
You still not
Mhm.
able to do fact or fiction?
No, not really.
All right,
It's all downstairs with the everything's on the hard drive until I can get that
I
back up
got
and
you.
running.
I got you.
Trust me, I'd much rather be down there doing it because that computer works. This one's, ooh, it's pushing
I
it.
got you. We are, if nothing, barring nothing that unforeseen, because we got a hurricane heading our way.
Hmm.
So Wednesday and
Yep.
Thursday is going to be a little dicey here. But if everything goes well, then what time you want to try and do square one on Saturday?
I should be available all day.
Cause
Whatever
buddy,
time you're ready, Danny.
man, Skip Bayless, man, he was orgasmic this morning, buddy. I'm like,
Oh,
oh my lord.
yep. And to be
I,
honest with you, I was watching the show. Their chemistry is good. I think he needs to. I don't want him to do like Richard Sherman one day, Mike Garvin. He should have them all four at the same time. And
I
I was
think he
watching. I
gonna.
was like,
I
this is
don't
good.
think they can handle. I think besides Keyshawn, I don't know if the other two can talk basketball. The Skip
Oh,
mainly talks
maybe yeah,
basketball and
yeah.
football. Then he throw in a little bit of baseball. That what made Shannon a little bit versatile because he could talk it all.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know whether or not they're gonna put in the work that Shannon did for that, but it'd be interesting to see. I wish we
Well,
get Chris Bouchard. I think Chris Bouchard is top notch.
yeah,
I
I
agree.
don't know if he can if he wants to talk all the three major sports like that, he's going to have to find somebody else
Yeah.
who can
Now I heard he was
talk
getting
with
Nick
it.
right, and God, I hope he don't.
Oh,
Oh,
poor
I
But he,
Nick,
hope. I
right?
hope he don't either.
but he want that chemistry because it's as his classic hate LeBron versus love LeBron. So
Hmm.
Hmm. But I think he
Yeah.
said, was it Keyshawn? I think Keyshawn is a LeBron fan
yeah,
too, because he
Keyshawn's a
was
big
like,
time Laker fan.
yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
So
I only saw the
Interesting.
opening and I saw the new intro. The intro's kind of fire. Lil Wayne is fire, man. He's underappreciated by me because at first I was like, I don't like, but man, when you listen to his lyrics,
hmm
that's like me put some stuff together. I'm like, I didn't know he was that nice.
yeah, Little Wayne is pretty good. I can agree with that.
All
Yep.
right. What do you think's going to happen in Ahsoka this next episode?
I
I
think
don't know.
because I seen the trailer, so I
Yeah.
think that he's gonna she's gonna fight with that whatever that guy's name is, the Sith guy. I don't know
Yeah.
how it's gonna end. Yeah, I don't know how the fight's gonna end, but they're definitely gonna have a fight.
Well, I'm assuming, and I don't know this for sure because he was still alive when the show was done, when they finished filming. But yeah, he died May of this year, a year after they started filming. They started filming last year in May, and he died this May. That's what the
Mm.
end of the first episode said
I
for
think his
Ray.
name is Balin or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's Balin. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. You see, this is a constant. Is like if he doesn't die in the series, how do you kill him off if they do a second season?
They can do that easy. I'm gonna tell you, how, and y'all might
Okay.
laugh. I don't care. Me and my wife, we love Sex in the City.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
now Sex
that.
in the
Yeah.
City has gone to what's the name of the show? And just like that, it's the name of the
Yes.
show now.
Yes. Uh huh.
And one of the big stars on there was a gay guy, and
Yep.
he died in real life. And how they
Yep.
played him off on the show is that they said he went to some country and became a monk, and
Mm.
they didn't even kill him, but he's dead as a doornail in real life. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why they did that? But if he's never gonna come back to the show,
Well,
So
that's,
they
I
could
mean,
do
there's,
Balin like that. They could say Balin got maybe if that world between worlds is really going to exist, and maybe he got zapped in some other
maybe.
far region of a space and never to be seen from again. I mean, I don't
Mhm.
know.
All right,
Hmm.
let me get a really quick idea on this from you guys. Okay, so we're on YouTube. You see a lot of it. The AI versions of people like Johnny Cash doing like Rush, or uh, Freddie Mercury doing somebody else's stuff. Really, it's just AI trying to put the voice of that person over the actual lyric, or the voice of the person who's doing it. What do you think of all that? What do you think? Have you watched any of these videos?
I haven't.
No.
Mm-mm.
Mm. They're
I've seen the thing about like the hologram they have of them. Like I think they had
oh yeah.
Michael Jackson hologram. They had Tupac on the one time.
Hmm.
And I thought that was going to be a big thing, but now if they integrate that along with AI, man,
Yeah, that
that
company that
that could be
originally
scary.
started that, they
Yeah.
went belly up, and then somebody else bought the rights to how to do it, and I haven't heard much about it since then. Um, yeah, I mean, but going off of the guy dying, of course they're going to have to ask the families, can we do this? But do you think that that's going to become something more prevalent as time goes on?
I don't know. I'm a little leery, a little afraid of the AI stuff based on we see Terminator, man. If it progresses
Hmm.
to that and it becomes self aware, then we might be in trouble because we see that in Terminator, we saw that in the Matrix. I
Hmm.
mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
And I think with the AI, it gets into a dangerous spot too, right? Because
Hmm.
now you can do this AI and you can have people saying and doing things that they never actually did, right? So yeah,
Exactly. Yes.
we can use it for movies and stuff like that. But what happens when someone actually takes a video of, like, let's say James Gunn, and puts an AI voice to it, matches it up to where it makes it look like he's saying some crap about maybe Henry Cavill or something like that. You know, it could be very dangerous with the AI stuff, man.
Deej says we don't need these AI things. Who wants to see Elvis sing NWO? I agree.
They need to, if they do something, they gotta have some kind of fail safe kill switch. This thing start getting out of control. I don't know.
Hmm.
Years ago, I went to this class in law enforcement, and this guy was talking about these supercomputers, and he said there was three countries that were in the lead of everybody else on the planet for this supercomputer, and it was us, Russia, and China. And he said whichever country perfects that supercomputer is going to change the whole entire world because where you had these math computations that took like years and years to figure out, this supercomputer is going to be able to process it in seconds.
Hmm.
So I don't know if that's AI he's talking about, but he didn't give it a specific name. And this was about 5 or 6 years ago. I remember going to the class. I was like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" So it must be was AI apparently, or some form of it. But it's just a little scary. And there's a Bible verse. Now I'm not trying to get religious. I'm just, but he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. That's in the Bible. And I was like, what does that mean? But the more knowledgeable we get on some things, people are going to use it for perversion, wickedness, and craziness. And it's going to cause a lot of sorrow. And I hope this AI ain't that.
I agree. I agree.
All right. Well, with that said, let's have you guys talk about your channels one more time. Start down there with Anzo. Anzo, tell everybody what you got going on this week.
Biggaford Entertainment, guys. Like I said, tomorrow will be the Soca Roundtable. I'm sorry, Soca Watch Party. Wednesday, the OOC. And then back on Sunday for the Roundtable. So make sure you check it out.
Awesome. Danny.
Tomorrow you can catch me doing a word of the day, scripture of the day, and also a quote of the day on my show, The Road, The Road to Wisdom. Also Wednesday we should be on. Well, Tuesday, tomorrow, like Lonzo said, we'll be watching that. I'll also be celebrating my 53rd birthday, and
Nice.
also later on this week you can see me on Lonzo's show OC if he's going to have it. I'm not sure whether or not we're going to have Rob show it because he was saying that Labor Day weekend might be, he may not have it or whatever, but usually you can catch me on Storms Live And of course, you can catch me on Nzo's show, the Circle Roundtable, if we have it, because I think some of the people
Yeah,
may be out of town for the holiday.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure out what's going on with that. And tomorrow night, like Gonzo said, I hope to be here for the watch party. Then I'm not sure what I'm doing on Sunday either. I might be busy, so that's something we'll have to figure out. But so I don't think we'll have the weekly wrap up or anything like that this week. But we will be back next. I don't know. Are we going to skip this next Monday, Danny? Since it's your show.
It's up to y'all, bro. I'm flexible.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Because if we skip everything else, we might try to push some stuff back and come back on Tuesday if we can, and do the round table or something like that. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But next
Hmm.
weekend is going to be kind of interesting. So we'll try to keep you guys informed as best as possible as the week goes along, and on Twitter and other things, just to kind of let you know what's going on. But with that said, guys, thank you very much. Thank you to Danny and Anzo. I appreciate you guys being here as always. And thank you to everybody who came into the chat. And I believe that's it. Peace.